I've been following this long construction over there in the distance for the last 30 kilometres all the way out from Niigata, and I couldn't work out what it was, but now I've just seen a train race across. It's a Shinkansen line, and it's above ground the whole way, so they obviously never have to stop for roads or anything really. They just barrel along at top speed. And this is the beginning of a new day. Today is the 9th of September 2024, and I'm going to spend a bit of time today videoing a day in my life when cycling through Japan. You may be wondering why I'm going to do video about one day in my life while on a cycling trip in Japan. Well, it's due to popular demand, as in I have 21 subscribers, I think, which is next to nothing, but it includes my close family members, of which I'm very pleased. And one of my 21 followers has requested a video about one day in my life. And now 1 out of 21 is actually roughly 5%. So 5%, like one sounds like nothing, but 5% is massive. Like 5% would swing the US election one way or the other. I mean, when you think about it, 5% is huge. So 5% of my followers want to see one day of my life. So here goes. So I'm staying in a ryokan. Well, I stayed in a ryokan last night. I'm about to get up, get organised, have breakfast. But before I do that, I'll just show you my room quickly. It has a mirror. Ooh. It has my clothes hanging up to dry, because the shirt in particular I can wear a couple of days in a row, or both those items I can wear a couple of days in a row, provided I dry them properly in between. There's my crap on the floor. There is the futon, or the mattress that I slept in. There is the cupboard piled high with other futon mattress things. More of my stuff. There are 2 beanbags to sit on and a low table, and that is my room. Now, normally I do my diary and my record keeping every evening after I finished my cycling, but I was too lazy last night because I had a book to read, and so I read the book instead and didn't do any of it. So now I'm going to do it this morning. The first thing I always do is I check my Garmin and see how far I cycled, and also how many metres ascent. You can see that I climbed a hill yesterday and then went down, which was good fun. And I'm keeping a running total of how far I've cycled. So far in Japan, I have cycled 15 days. So far in Honshu, I have cycled 15 days. Then I put the date, and then I put where I started and where I finished, how many kilometres, how many metres I've climbed, a total for Honshu, so far 718 kilometres, and the total for this trip this year, so almost 2,000 kilometres. In Hokkaido I did 1,226, so that's the first line, and then it's every day down in Honshu that I cycle. I don't include the days where I don't cycle. The next thing I work on is my diary. So now it's time to organise some breakfast. There's my bike there. The chap that runs the hostel, Ryokan, has already asked if it's electric assist, because everybody thinks that the pinion gearing, which is in here, is electric, but it's not. And here I've left some of my bags, because I don't need to carry them upstairs. Just tripped over something. Milk, cereal. This is unlikely to be a lovely, peaceful breakfast, but anyway, here we go. What I carry in my bag: cornflakes, some oatmeal, and something pretends to be muesli, but it's not. It's just full of sugar, but it gives my breakfast a bit of crunch. And every evening I buy myself a thing of milk so that I can make my breakfast in the morning. Right, that has to be worn. There's my bike. I have to take it down the steps onto the footpath. This is my bike seat cover, which is a $2 shower cap from some supermarket. You can buy $70 proper seat covers, but you know, what's wrong with a $2 shower cap, particularly when it houses some of our friends. This one's my electronics and toiletries and spare first aid bag. It's not closed yet because my Garmin is still charging. Sleeping bags. I say sleeping bags because I have 2 light sleeping bags so that I can mix and match according to the weather. This one is my clothing bag. I have probably a bit more clothing than most people because I like to have a bit of casual clothes for when I'm being a tourist. Okay, so I've ridden less than a kilometre and this is my 3rd obstacle. The first one was a traffic light, which just means patience. The second one was a hill of 6%, which I actually rode up the whole way. And then, wanting to be safe, I went on the footpath, which started off quite nice, and then a few hundred metres later, it's this. So I'm going to have to go all the way back, get off the footpath and go on the road. And this is such a common story in Japan, and it's really, really frustrating that so often pick what I think is safe and decent, and then it deteriorates to this sort of thing. So now I have to cycle on the road. It's not too bad because there's a decent shoulder here. There's a lot of traffic. I've just picked a time when there's not much, but generally there's a lot of traffic. But that's okay because there is a decent shoulder, firstly, and secondly, they're actually reasonably civilised drivers. There are not many who have driven too fast or too close to me. I just had to cross this bridge before. I had 3 trucks go past me when I was on it, and there's no shoulder. They were very well behaved. They hung back until they could partially move onto the other side. Look at that expressway. And there's a village down below. It's a really steep valley, and there's this little village. I can actually see a graveyard in the centre of it. No matter how dangerous that bridge was that I crossed, I'm really glad that I never had to go down and back out of this valley. Whoa. The guy's looked at me a few times. I think he's trying to work out what to do with me, because behind me is a really, really, really long trail of traffic. Do I go before them? Do I go after them? Do I have a separate route of my own? Oh, who knows? I think white means go ahead, but not for me. Right, he's waved me through. I'm following the last lot of cars, pedal like crazy, because at the other end they'll be waiting for me to come through. The cars on the other side have to wait until I get through. And it's uphill. And there's a tunnel ahead. What's really good about this, because they've held up traffic on both sides for me, I can get through the tunnel quite safely. There's the guy with the red flag. Now I can see the opposing traffic all held up. And I'm through. What's really good, now I won't have any cars behind me until this lot have all gone through, which will take a few minutes. Oh, such is the excitement of life on the road. There's one truck behind me, but that must be from the roadworks. There are still cars banked up on the other side. And now I have enough puff to keep pedalling, and there's another tunnel ahead. So, let's see if I can get through that one. The opposing, I've still got the line of opposing cars. Haven't passed them yet. Truck's coming up close behind me though. There it is. The roadworks truck has just passed me. I've finished with the opposing cars. So when they've all gone through, then they'll let the ones behind me come through. I've got a few minutes yet. Yeah, this is like many tunnels. It has a little footpath. It's far too small. Far too narrow to ride on safely. So if I had cars behind me, I'd have to get off, get onto the footpath and walk the bike. But still have no cars behind me. But I'm puffing and panting something shocking. 310 metres to go, so this tunnel is 460 metres. Let's check out this shrine. This is the third take, by the way. The first one I realised it was all getting too long. It doesn't transfer well across from my phone to my tablet. Second take, did it beautifully, then realised I'd left the microphone on my jacket on the bike. Third take, let's hope I don't fall flat in my nose. Here we go. Shrine, in the shade. Can't get away from the noise of the traffic, but you know, you can't have everything. Ah, okay. Big tree, little shrine, more bits and pieces. Where can I sit? Here we go, take two. Time for an update. Yesterday I took loads and loads of footage of my travels, my journey, my one-day cycling, and discovered late at night that for the vast majority of it the microphone had died and I didn't have any valuable footage at all. Basically I had to delete most of it. I got as far as the Shinto shrine, and after that pretty well everything was dead. So what I thought I would do is keep going today and just mash 2 days worth together into one, and by the time I'm 95 I won't know anymore, and I'm pretty sure if I don't tell too many people that nobody will realise either. I'm following the same road as yesterday. The traffic's just as appalling, except that yesterday I got off that main road and took another smaller country road all along the beach, which was magnificent, absolutely beautiful. But today I can't do that, but what the gods have given me instead is a 27-kilometre cycling path, and I reckon that's pretty cool. And it starts with my very own tunnel, not to be shared with any traffic apart from cyclists and walkers, of which there are none. So it's all good. Yesterday I also bought a new light for the front of my bike because the other one fell off. So I get to try it out today in this new tunnel. Put it on and see what it looks like. Unfortunately that doesn't really fit there very well because the bag's pushing against it, sending it off at a completely incorrect angle. So I'm probably going to try and drop it down to about here somewhere, and we'll see how that goes. Further, I've just got to get it away from this latch thing on the bag. Well, that didn't work either, so now I've tried putting it up here. I'll just have to see when I'm going through the tunnel where the light shines, if it actually shines anywhere useful. Otherwise I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Here goes, one tunnel for cyclists and walkers only. Well, it was fun, and no, the light doesn't shine anywhere useful. Every tunnel has a name, every bridge has a name. Every tunnel, and actually a lot of bridges, also give their length. So this one's 463 metres. Here's a bit of fun. We've got a video camera up, checking who's doing what. Haven't leaving to it. Go back to the bike. And this lovely waterfall and a seat. I might sit down and have a snack. Here's my snack bag. Have a look what I've got in there. I've got mandarins, 2 tomatoes. I've still got lots of those little snacky things, and I'm probably going to have one of those. And I've got bananas. Bananas are actually really, really good when you're cycling. Lots of energy. I've got some chocolate things that cost an absolute fortune. My Pocari sweats. Some more lollies. bit of sugar, 2 cup of soup things, some noodles, and some sauce to have with noodles. One day I'm going to have to cook those and get rid of them and use up the gas, because I don't think I'll be camping anymore, so I might as well just use up the gas and get rid of it. Papery on the outside, very chewy on the inside. I think it has a bit of a ginger taste, but I'm not sure. Strange. My chocolates have all melted together into one great big lump. Looks like a pile of rabbit poo. Anyway, still tastes nice. I like this. The cars are down to one lane for both directions, so they've all got stoplights and whatnot. And me, I've got this whole lane to myself. So, let's see what happens further up, and I wonder why. Oh, I think there was a landslide. Anyway, trucks are on the other side of the barrier, so I'm happy. And this is tunnel number 4, I think, and up there is tunnel number 5. So my Garmin says I've ridden 17.23 kilometres. And I think it's time for a coffee, because I haven't had any yet. It's 8:07 in the morning. Been riding for nearly 2 hours with lots of stops in between, of course. Yeah, coffee time. This is a 7-Eleven store. They're almost everywhere. Yeah. Apart from 7-Eleven, there's Family Mart and Lawson's, and there's a one called Daily or Dairy. Daily, I think it is. That has really good stuff in it too. They all have coffee, they all have toilets, they all have all sorts of snacks and things to eat. You can actually live quite well out of a convenience store. And here we go to the toilet first. Basin, toilets, that one's male and female, and what I like is there's often female only ones, and there's bottlers, and this is where I shut the video down for a little while. I'm guessing that that is a shrine, simply because it is so big and fancy. And here's another shrine just a few hundred metres after the last one. There are more shrines here than you can shake a stick at. Maybe life in these fishing villages was so dangerous, that's why they have so many shrines. There's the Torii gate for the entrance. Lions. I'll go through the entrance. There's the shrine building. And there's the bike path. And there's somebody's bicycle.